Good afternoon, Trump's family. Welcome back to my channel. Have a good day and God bless you. Let's get into the news. And it looks like Liz Cheney obviously is in desperation mode right now, as she is down by over 30 points in her current primary against Harriet Hegman into Wyoming primary for Republican to represent in the U.S. House of Congress. And what we have here is a quick glimpse of where all of her campaign funding is coming from. And you would think that, if she's so popular as the news media will claim that she is because she's standing for her principle, she's standing for the Constitution. So obviously, all of Wyoming would be donating to her right to make sure that she can win this re-election bid. No, she hasn't. The majority of her election money has come from outside of Wyoming from, of course, the swamp, the DNC Democrat Party media individuals, people who do not align with the white OMY value, they don't align with them. So therefore, they don't want for anybody else to represent Wyoming, they want their deepest swamp puppet, Liz Cheney, to be that individual. So let's kind of get into it. Coming to it from over here on Twitter, from Chuck Callisto. He says, breaking rapport as of March 31st. Liz Cheney has raised more than $10 million for her re-election campaign. Oddly, only $270,000 came from Wyoming donors. Wow. $10 million. So that's a $9 million that have come from outside of Wyoming. I wonder how much the DNC has funneled to Liz Cheney. I wonder how much has come from CNN and MSNBC and all of these other places. Maybe she got some kickback from the Ukrainian money that was sent via Congress, that $40 billion. Maybe she got a little bit part of that money laundering to come back into her coffers, because of course, she supported $40 billion overseas. And of course, she supports ensuring that President Trump will be arrested before he can run for re-election. She is the Democrats' best friend right now. They are even talking about her running for president in 2024. Because we need a reasonable Republican, somebody that's willing to work across the aisle. No, I want a Republican who's going to push my agenda, who's going to push my values. That's who I want, representing me, just like Democrats get to have when they get to have somebody that represents them. They want their values, their agenda, push well, that's the same thing I want. I don't want bipartisanship. I want to ensure my agenda is being put in place. And Liz Cheney is not that person for the state of Wyoming. I know. This is, a tired talking point. But I know the people of Wyoming are absolutely tired of Liz Cheney's liberal limousine style of a political corruptness politician that she's become. You have to look very far, you have to look at her warmongering father, to understand who she would have been. But now, as she's desperate to retain that seat for this coming election, she's going to do whatever she can. That means raising money in the Democrat Party, if that means raising money from the Democrat machine. Does that mean raising money from people that hate Wyoming people? And that's what she's going to do, because for her, it's all about power. It's all about ensuring that she remains there so she can continue to act like she doesn't even live in Wyoming most of the time. She lives in Virginia. She could care less about the people in Wyoming, and she'll say, oh, it's because I got to be here. Most of our representatives go back home to her. She likes to stay and rub elbows with those individuals. Another court ruling siding with Donald Trump. Here you have an article from NBC News. Court says Congress can get some, but not all the Trump documents it seeks a ruling was the latest development. The ongoing effort by the House Oversight Committee to enforce a subpoena issued to Trump's accounting firm they want. Okay, here's the issue with what's going on with Donald Trump. He doesn't have a voicemail, or emails, or a lost laptop, or private servers with top secret intelligence on those servers. Okay. You have top secret intelligence on private servers with Madam Secretary, so Clinton had literally servers outside of the United States government managed to transfer top secret and classified data onto those servers. That is not legal. That is a criminal endeavor right there. Okay. James Comey Inspector Clues stated. Wait, we couldn't find intent. Everyone at the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Everyone on the planet who's familiar with, who has a modicum of knowledge pertaining to technology, understands that transferring top secret and special access program intelligence and classified data from secure government networks onto servers outside of the United States government is a criminal act. Okay. And or it's sanctioned by the president, or there's something going on, where you're breaking laws, it's not legal, and it's not really possible, but it happened. Trump doesn't have that Trump didn't have and I want to Hillary Trump 2024 or Hillary DeSantis Hillary Clinton DeSantis 2024. But Trump doesn't have that Trump doesn't have a last laptop with incriminating emails with corporations and billionaires asking for favors with stick with emails like how can you use your influence on the company's behalf, and then favorable treatment to the people who asked for the favorable treatment he doesn't have and money flow and hundreds of millions of dollars in deals connected to his post as president within those emails, and a voicemail from Joe to Hunter, proving that he lied to the American public about knowing about Hunter's business deals anyway. What the House Oversight Committee wants is information from Trump's accounting firm, which now they're not going to get. They wanted a whole lot of information. They're not going to the court sided with Trump. The NBC News articles as court says Congress can get some but not all the Trump documents that seeks they want. That they're not getting the documents that they want. They're getting only certain documents, which Trump is okay with. Then again, it's not a matter of Trump being okay with it. There's a treasure trove of criminal activity. He hasn't committed a crime. They're not actually investigating a crime. They're investigating what they think Trump could have possibly done, which is exactly what the Mueller probe was about. So Mueller, like Watergate, was a breaking people, especially the presidential historians who should know better. They are people from the Watergate era. They tried to correlate Trump to being worse than Watergate. But see, Watergate was an actual break in the court today said you can only get a certain amount of documents, you're not gonna get everything you want from Trump, because there's no crime that he's committed, as you're investigating what the House Oversight Committee and James Comer is going to be the chairman of the House Oversight, investigating Hunter endlessly and impeaching Joe along with Jim Jordan, who will be the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, and the House Intel Committee will be in Republican hands. So it's gonna be completely different. Republicans will investigate Democrats, but they'll actually have something to investigate. They'll have hundreds of millions of dollars in business deals, emails, voicemails, Bank 150, suspicious financial transactions. Okay, so you'll have all of this stuff. Okay. Maybe you have an actual, criminal activity you're investigating. And so, the rebuttal might say, well, what? It's not criminal to just have emails showing that other countries and other billionaires and other corporations want favors from Hunter. Okay, that might not be criminal, but it is a crime, though, to use the United States government to enrich yourself. And there's the evidence there. Okay. There's nothing anything that they're pointing to other than a New York Times article, which the New York Times and the Washington Post and MSNBC and CNN and all the public relations monstrosity that we're seeing today is an extension of the Democratic Party. They don't like Trump, that's it. They don't like him. They just want to investigate him because they think he's capable of anything. They don't have emails, or business deals or top secret intelligence on servers. Okay? They don't have pay-to-play schemes, like quid pro quo schemes like you have. You don't have a person like Tony Berlinski or Douglas Campbell. These are informants, or these are business associates coming out saying, yes, Trump traded the presidency to enrich himself. Okay. He didn't force out a prosecutor the way Joe did. And then the apoplectic rebuttal is, oh, my God, there's no evidence he forced. Well, we didn't have those emails back then, did we? He forces out a prosecutor who was going to investigate the company that was paying Hunter, and then there are emails from the company asking Hunter to do them a favor? Gee, it's not that difficult. Okay, you have a direct correlation to criminal activity or corrupt activity. You have the favor that was done by Joe, and you have the request for the favor from the email sent to Hunter, and you have a business associate saying, yeah, that's what the agreement was all about. Or that's how they do business. So you have all of that with Trump, you have nothing. So you have ever situation where if there were no limits to Congress's ability to drown a president in burdensome requests, the minute he leaves office, Congress would perhaps use the threat of a post-presidency pile-on to try and influence the president's conduct while in office. There you go. Okay, so they're not gonna give all the documents that Congress wants, but they only have a couple of months anyway, and the House and Senate will go Republican. The ruling was Lay's development ongoing effort by House Oversight Committee to enforce a subpoena issued to Trump's accounting for measures. It sought the documents in 2019, after former Trump lawyer Michael Cohen testified in congressional hearing that Trump inflated his total assets and sinky loans, but deflated his assets to reduce his real estate taxes. First of all, Michael Cohen was he committed crimes because of a failed taxi business, and a whole bunch of other issues that he dealt with on his own, like he committed those crimes to seek a reduced sentence. He then turned on Trump, then Democrats had oh goodness, Michael Cohen has a treasure trove of information. He provided no evidence other than his opinion, or viewpoint. Michael Cohen didn't provide any documents, or emails or voicemails or private servers. See, Democrats actually have there's evidence of criminal activity on the Democratic side, there is zero evidence of criminal activity on Trump's side, aside from Michael Cohen, R. Cassidy, Hutchinson, or John Brennan saying, well, we think Trump said this, or somebody told us that Trump said this. Furthermore, you're talking about elevating, inflating someone's net worth. This is like a subjective issue. That if you are in New York real estate, New York is the most expensive real estate on the planet. Okay, the most expensive on the planet. Good luck trying to prove that he inflated his net worth. These are people who have never been in real estate, they don't understand how expensive New York, Tokyo, there's other cities in the world and the most expensive cities in the world. Furthermore, Deutsche Bank and other banks that he's worked with aren't going to be duped. They understand what's going on. And also there are other billionaires. I mean, you'd have to get the testimony of other billionaires who would agree with Trump on the valuation of properties. So inflating his total assets, and deflating his assets, that's related to the IRS and to the bank. But there are 150 suspicious financial transactions that James Comer in the House Oversight found with Hunter and Joe. Does Trump have 150 suspicious business transactions in addition to emails, in addition to voicemails? No, he doesn't. In addition to the vice president forcing out a prosecutor? No, he doesn't. Thank you so much for listening. God bless. I'll be back soon with another report. God speak to each and every one of you. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for all of your kind words.